I remember my 20s. Busier than a cucumber in a woman's prison. But I learned a few things about where to put it that paid off big time in my 30s. The advice, not the cucumber. Do have a plan B. I know you want to follow your dreams. You want to follow that main goal that you have. You really want to make it as a rock star, as a singer, as a YouTuber. It's like I'm talking to myself. But here's the deal. You've got to have a plan B, man, in case that doesn't work out. You've got to have some sort of a skill set somewhere else that you can say, hey, even if this doesn't work out, I have sort of a fallback here. However, if you want to invest in something really great, you want to go to something like trade school, okay? Learn how to put in tile, learn how to put in flooring, learn how to put in drywall, do something like that that's not just found everywhere, but that you can implement pretty much anywhere as well, just in case your plan A does not work out. Another do is to invest heavily. And people don't really get this because they think what they're going to do, and if you go online, what advice you're going to see is simply this. They're going to say take a portion of your paycheck, something like 20, 30, maybe 25%, and invest it into something. Well, here's the deal. In your 20s, that's okay? Don't do that. In your 20s, you should be investing something like 75% at a minimum. Like, you have so long, even if you screw up and you lose everything, you have so long to make that capital back that just doesn't matter. And what I see a lot of the time are people who invested $5,000, $10,000 in their 20s, and then in their 30s, hey man, they've got like $20,000, and that's great. You can put a down payment on a house, and that's great, but you ain't doing else. Like, I don't know what you want to do. If you're trying to build a business, I mean, you can't even buy a car with 20 grand now. Like, you've really got to have a better strategy than this. And if you just invest in some basic stocks, right? And you can go to a bank, you can ask anybody. Don't, necessarily take a YouTuber's advice on this, but just go and ask somebody that cares about you where to invest, okay? Somebody that can't profit off of you. I actually went to my banker and I went and asked him, and I didn't know him from Adam, and I just said, hey man, I'm trying to buy a house, I'm trying to invest and all this other stuff, and he actually showed me the beginning steps of how to do all of this. Do invest heavily in your 20s. Don't invest just a little bit, okay? Don't invest $500 in your 20s in Apple and think that, oh, but in 10 years, that could really be worth $1,000. It's like, man, if that's gonna be you, this channel's not for you, this advice is not for you. Enjoy middle class at best, okay? Moving on. Do put yourself under a budget. You have got to learn to live within your means, all right? So what I mean is, if you have $1,000 in your checking account, and you should always have at least $1,000 buffer in your checking account, and you want to buy a PlayStation, okay? And it's, $500, $600. Here's the deal. I know you have that money there. You still shouldn't buy it, okay? Because you haven't allocated those funds properly to say, yes, I can spend a certain amount of money, and always go by percentages, by the way, don't go by actual numbers. I can invest, 25% of my paycheck a week in frivolities, right? In things that I don't really need, but I like doing. And you should set that aside, by the way. You don't want to be like this rock that just doesn't have any fun. You want to set aside some percentage of your paycheck to just blow, whether it's on fast food, on trips, on girls, it doesn't matter. I'd highly suggest doing that so that you're not a total rube. Another do that I would highly suggest is to get yourself a credit card. Now look, I know that everybody watching this is not going to be able to handle a credit card, but you can do this. You want to build up your funds so that when you need a loan from a bank, whether it's for a house, for a car, for a business loan, a personal loan, no matter what it is, that you've got some credit history and some good credit history to back that up. That's why you want a credit card. The best way to do that is to get one, and you probably have to get a secured card. A secured card is basically one for people with low credit or no credit, and it lets you build up your credit over time. The point is, you get that card, put your Netflix subscription on it, put your Apple subscription on it, Spotify, whatever it is, just put one thing on it to come out every single month. When you get the physical card in the mail, cut it into 12 pieces, throw it away, and just pay that off month after month after month after month. That's it. That's all you've got to do. But the thing is, you'll find that most people still cannot handle that, okay? You've got to learn to handle credit. You've got to learn to live within a budget. You've got to learn to handle a credit card. Okay, that is a big do in your 20s. You've got to learn how to control it. Let's change paces here and go with the don'ts in your 20s. The biggest one that I could think of that I have seen ruin more lives than anything else: stop having kids with a woman that you are not married to, okay? The reason being, you've got to be invested in that relationship, right? Like, why are you just having kids with any other woman? And I'll tell you why. It's because you can't control yourself. It's like, never mind finances, you can't control what's between your legs. And I'm not even talking about females, I'm talking about you, dude. Why in the hell are you having kids with any girls that's gonna open her legs to you? Stop. Like, do you have any other impulses besides biological? Jesus, just, dude, little bro, you don't need to be having kids because you like this person this month, okay? When you're in a committed relationship with somebody over a long period of time, you can then discuss having children if you can both afford it, okay? Other than that, dude, don't have kids. It will destroy your finances. And here's why. If you guys break up, and there's a high chance you're going to break up with this girl, then you go to a judge, and the judge is going to say, okay, you're going to fork over a portion of your paycheck to this woman every single month for 18 years, dude. That's almost a house. And since it's based off a percentage of what you make, no matter how much you make, that percentage is just going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. Even if you get full custody of the kid, you're still going to be paying for it. And look, I know that having kids is great, so they say, and I know that you may want to do that with your life. Hell, I would like to do that with my life. But the thing is, you've got to vet your women, man. You can't just be having kids with anybody who hits up your phone on the weekends, all right? The biggest mistake there is that the money that you are going to use for child support is supposed to be used for investing for you. And guess where that money goes? To her. And then you're going to become this bitter, resentful old man. It's going to blame everything on the woman, blame everything on maybe even on the kid, when it was you who screwed up, dude. It was you who couldn't control what was between your legs, and now you're going to pay the price for that for at least 18 years. And that's assuming the kid even likes you. Come on, man. You don't want to be playing Vatican roulette where you just pull out and pray, okay? Another don't in your 20s, don't save everything you can. This goes back to the do where I was talking about invest heavily. You cannot invest heavily and save heavily. You can't do it, okay? You've got to do one or the other. And in your 20s, you need to be investing and not saving. And what I see a lot of kids doing is they'll save, $5, 10, maybe even $20,000 in their 20s. And that's great. What are you gonna do with it? It's like saving money for the sake of saving money is one of the most useless things in the world. You might as well blow it on blackjack and I don't know, what do you spend your money on? What are you doing this weekend, I'm gonna get canceled. Don't save everything you can. Okay, it's there to be invested, it's there to be used. Moving on, don't buy a new car. Unless you are actually upper middle class, you should not be buying a new car in your 20s. It's okay to buy a decent used car, and a car is what you would call bad debt, okay? It's debt that does not earn you money, it's not an investment. Okay, if you want to view a car as an investment, you better be driving full-time for like Uber or Lyft or something like that. Then you might be able to tell me, okay, I understand why you'd get a new car. I still don't really see that as the only option that you would have, but okay, I understand what you're saying, all right? So a simple point here is don't buy a new car. You can buy a used car and still impress women, I promise you, okay? By the way, I know guys who drive Ferraris and think that they're going to impress women that way. And here's the thing, it works to get them in the door, but they're terrible with women and they get used for their money. So if you really want to be that guy and think that you're going to impress women and get women from a cool looking car, you're kind of right. You're half right. You're going to get your foot in the door and then you're going to get your foot in your mouth. Maybe that's your kink. I don't know. I'm not going to judge. It's not for me and it's not for people who are successful financially. And the last don't simply falls under having a budget. Don't make impulse investments, okay? A lot of these things happen when you go to the club, when you go to a bar, when you go to a game, when you go to amusement parks, blah, blah, blah. A lot of these things are overpriced and are simply not worth it. Now look, you can allocate funds, okay? You could say that I spend 10% of my paycheck every week on whatever I want, stupid crap, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way, as long as it's allocated a small percentage blow it on, that $8 hot dog next time you go to a Braves game. I don't know. I don't care. But you should have those funds allocated to where when you do see something that you want, you can say, you know what? I haven't actually spent my allocated funds this week on my nonsense. So yeah, I can go ahead and buy this. Versus the people that think they have some sort of a personality because they have no impulse control. It's like, hate to break it to you, but you're going to be broke and it's going to be your fault. But hey, at least you got a personality, right? Yeah, good luck with that. So those are your financial do's and don'ts in your 20s. I hope that they help you guys truly, because I made a lot of those mistakes myself. And little bro, it gets easier. All right? Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.